Why does my boyfriend gets mad when I start crying? If I cry because of something he did, he gets mad, calls me names like stupid, ret*rd, etc. I'm a very emotional person and I can't hold back my tears even in public. And I start sobbing to the point I can't clearly talk. There hasn't been times that he comforted me when I cry, unless it's been about a death, or if someone else made me cry. I don't know if he should comfort me, or not. Especially in public, he will start tightening his fists and call me names, or how I embarrass him if I cry in public. Most of my crying outbursts have been because he yells at me, and calls me names. I'm starting to think he is going to become abusive by a year or two. He has a hole on his door from punching it when he's angry. He also broke my umbrella in half when I started crying in public. He swears he does this only to objects and not to real people, and I trust him. He says I'm acting childish and I cry only for attention and to make it look like I'm the victim. But I can't control my tears. I will give an example. We went to another city to the mall with my car. I'm a new driver and I haven't driven to another city ever. I wanted to drive on the way there because I felt safer with him, but I would be scared if I did it alone, plus it was still daylight. He was calling me names the whole time because apparently my driving isn't smooth, or because I don't drive the way he wants me to, but he keeps talking while I drive and blasts loud music. On the way back, I asked him to drive because it's already dark and I'm scared on the highway in the dark. He wasn't happy about this. He used to already drove my car few times in the past, but this time the car kept turning off on him. It's manual. I never once laughed about this. It's okay. Then he started hitting all the potholes and I got a bit scared. So I told him jokingly, "Wow, you didn't miss a pothole," and he got super mad. He was already raging mad because there was no available parking spot. He stopped right then on the middle of the street and yanked my door open and said, "Come on, you drive then," and I said, "Calm down. I was just making a small joke, plus we were 2 minutes away from our destination." I was holding my phone and jacket in my lap, and he yanked them off of me and my phone fell on the concrete. He said it wasn't his fault I didn't kept my phone safe. I told him to go back and drive, but he insisted many times for me to drive, and told me it's my fault because I didn't listen to him the first time he told me to drive. Then I needed time to adjust the seat and the wheel and the mirrors, and cars already waited behind of me, using the horn on me. And he kept saying, "Get driving, the cars are behind you." Then, I burst into tears and I'm sobbing at this point because he yelled at me in front of his brother in the back seat. And he literally started hitting my steering wheel and said, "I will rip this thing out if you don't stop crying." Then he started to make some jokes with his brother and they started laughing, but I said it wasn't funny. Then we went to his house and I cried at his bathroom secretly, and he acted like nothing happened. I could hear him laughing at the other room with his dad and father. Then I just cried for 2 hours straight when I went home. I don't know how to feel about this. He never apologizes for these types of outbursts. Did I take my joke about the potholes too far? He said I shouldn't joke because he was already mad because of the no available parking. I don't feel like I deserved all that yelling and hitting at the car interior. Please don't say leave him. I just want to know if I'm right to feel this way or not, and should I demand an apology? We've been together for 8 years. Edit. I want to add that I live in a developing country, so it's normal for men here to be raised patriarchal. On the other hand, I wasn't raised like him because I didn't have my dad around and my parents have been divorced almost my entire life. Comment. I don't need examples. You are in an abusive relationship. Nobody has the right to call you names. Ever. I strongly suggest leaving him now and getting into therapy. It's what we need after abuse and it will help. You can become the woman who would never accept this. It's abuse. Leave. Get a good therapist. You aren't alone. So many people really haven't seen examples of healthy relationships and need help so that you can recognize one and find one. There is no excuse for what he's doing. None. Oh, sweetheart. I've been there. I know how it feels to hold back tears because when they come out, you will get punished. Getting yelled at for being too sensitive, crying too much, using your tears as a weapon, being this and that, all because of a bodily reaction you can't even control. With people like that, you cry, get punished, cry more and get punished more. There is no relief. No matter what joke you made or at what timing, his reaction is wrong. He is abusive. I wish I knew what to tell you, but you don't want to leave, and I know I cannot sway your mind. It's such a shame since you're the same age as me, and I'm now at the other side of that mess. I don't cry nearly as often anymore, but I know that I can. I started talking to someone new again recently. While I'm keeping an eye out for red flags, I haven't found them just yet. Today, I asked him if he would get angry at me for crying. He didn't say, nah, but it could be annoying sometimes, or even just a solid no. No, he was downright confused. It was a phenomenon that seemed completely alien to him. Sure, it doesn't have to mean anything. But no matter what, I am learning to be happy again. I am learning to be myself again. I hope, one day, you'll have that too. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. It feels like a pretty twisted way to compliment someone, because it is. This isn't healthy. Even a perfect person 90% of the time isn't worth hurting this badly 10% of the time. Please write a list somewhere he cannot access of all the good things and the bad things you get out of this relationship. Be really honest with yourself. Your intuition is telling you his actions aren't okay because they aren't. Of course he will say they are. But listen to your gut. You know this isn't how it's supposed to go. I have had moments of only the people closest to me see my deepest anger before. You know what I did when I realized it was hurting the people I cared about? When I got so angry at my father that I threw a fist through my bedroom door. I realized I was emotionally unhealthy and I went to anger management. I started therapy. I got more in control of my emotions so I didn't hurt my loved ones. I'm still far from perfect, but if he's calling it a privilege, that's fucking terrifying. Run. Do not walk. He will hurt you. OP, please read this. Then break up with the abusive who's keeping your self-esteem low so that you don't believe you can have a life without him. And don't find another boyfriend until you've had therapy and you are able to recognize abusive behavior. If you jump to another relationship too soon, you'll just find another abuser, because you'll look for a behavior pattern that's familiar, and people with this behavior pattern are abusers. All of them. This sums up my life exactly, but I had kids with the monster. I think first step is to stop being hard on yourself. You are doing the best you can in the circumstances you are in. Everyone saying just leave doesn't understand how it's not actually that easy. If there is a women's or family violence support center local to you, please speak with them to seek counseling and formulate an exit plan. I'm in Victoria, Australia, and his behavior is against the law here, and you would be able to have him charged and obtain an IVO, if that's what you wanted to do. For me, becoming independent and getting out of the relationship was the hardest thing I have ever had to do in my life. I had been living in survival mode for so long. I now have a range of health issues as a result, but there's a big crash of exhaustion once you finally feel safe, which is scary as it is unfamiliar. Build up your support network so you have friends and family to just be there for you. Don't sweat the small stuff, only what is necessary. Get your finances and any important paperwork in order. Keep records of everything. Get any items you care about somewhere safe. Research narcissists. Apparently they are uncommon, but I disagree. Learn the best strategies to protect yourself mentally/emotionally from him, as you'll know what he's going to do before he does it. And some of your behavior will make sense so you can be kinder to yourself knowing that it's not your fault. V. It will get worse before it gets better, but it is so well worth it. Freedom is worth fighting for. You are worth fighting for. Don't let him make you believe otherwise. Best of luck. Story 2. My boyfriend reaction to photos of me has me spiraling. So, A couple of weeks ago I was asked by my place of work to model some clothing items we sell for photos to put on our social media. For context, I have an extremely difficult time being photographed to the point that it can have me in tears. I think they could sense my discomfort when asked, so they told me my face would be cropped out and it would be on our story, which deletes after 24 hours. I was still very uncomfortable but managed to go through with it. Yesterday, I checked our social media and the photos were posted on our grid, not our story, which is permanent, and my face was in every single photo. This really upset me and kind of sent me into a spiral about it all day. I could not stop thinking about the photos, how I looked in them, feeling disgusting, worrying. I had an event later that night to go to with my boyfriend, something I was looking forward to and wanted to enjoy, but I had to exert a tremendous amount of effort to attend it at all just because of my discomfort with my appearance. Anyway, I go and I tell my boyfriend about everything. He's sympathetic and I ask him to look at the photos because I thought he might make me feel better about them or tell me they look okay. But, instead, he looks at them and makes a comment about how he can't believe they posted this one, me standing in profile. He doesn't say anything good about them. I don't think he really meant anything by it, but it sent me into another spiral and derailed the entire night. My boyfriend is also constantly taking photos of me whenever we're doing anything. It actually has caused fights between us because I will get really upset and feel like I can't be in the moment/enjoy doing things because I am worrying about how I look instead. So I know he has a million photos of me that are far worse than the ones he can't believe they posted of me. It makes me feel physically sick to think about. To top it off, he has a beautiful family and sisters who he is also constantly photographing. They have never looked ugly in any candid photos he's taken, and I'm positive he would never say anything critical about a candid photo of them, and certainly not a posed photo. I have a very hard time feeling comfortable or confident or like I am enough for anyone, my boyfriend, or myself. I have a lot of self-image issues and hyperfixations that are my own issues to deal with, but I can't stop thinking about this. I don't know how I can be comfortable or confident around him. I feel very intensely that I don't even want to be looked at by him now. I just feel shameful and embarrassed. Comment. I think you need therapy. Really. Having this much discomfort around the idea of having your photo taken to the point where it makes you physically sick is not normal, nor can it be comfortable for you. I'm sorry you are going through this. Please speak with a therapist if you can. You truly do need therapy to work through this phobia, because that's what this is. You are not addressing this in a healthy manner. Your boyfriend made an odd comment, but it wasn't rude or harmful. This is entirely on your severe insecurities and phobia. That being said, you can and should absolutely ask your employer to delete the pictures since this is not what they told you they would be used for. Just an alternate perspective here. I don't know your boyfriend or his intentions, but I do know that men say the wrong thing a lot. For example, he may have just been trying to be on your side, like, oh hey, I can't believe they posted that one. Perhaps it had nothing at all to do with your appearance. Maybe it was a strange assortment of clothing or strange lighting, etc. Maybe your face looked uncomfortable. Or maybe he was being critical. You should have an honest conversation with him about how it made you feel. Just to give you some perspective, my boyfriend never takes pictures of me and gives me attitude if I even ask him to take a picture, so I find it sweet that your boyfriend does that. I think your boyfriend could have done a better job reassuring you, but even so, he's with you for a reason. I don't think he would be if he doesn't find you attractive. Everyone has insecurities, but you'll dig yourself a hole if you keep focusing/noticing the imperfections. You're taking what he said very personally, but it could have nothing to do with you. If he's into photography, he could have just been criticizing one of the photographic elements, like the lighting that was used. Don't let your imagination destroy your relationship. Just ask him why he said that.